huge problem. I might be dead in the next couple of days. You're the only one that can help me. I need you, okay?
All right. Welcome back to Argus, but not the Argus that you know and love. This is the After Argus. This is the Shadow Files. Shadow has found herself in an incredibly threatening situation, and only you, can help her. What evil forces are threatening her, and how can you stop them? Have fun with Argus, the Shadow Files, a special episode from the Argus universe. And as you saw in the very beginning there, Shadow mentioned how her life is in danger. She might be dead in a couple days. But Shadow, she faked her death before too, in the healing, faked her death. But maybe this time it's real. Maybe Argus has their sights set on Shadow, and our playthrough, Argus survived. I don't know why. It wasn't my fault. But Argus survived. It might have been my fault. I'm Argus, and yes, I was not going to kill myself. Like it is what it is. I don't know. I don't know what you expect. I'm gonna destroy myself in the game. It's not gonna happen. But if you guys enjoy Argus, if you are enjoying the fact that we are now covering the Shadow Files, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, consider joining as a member for only 99 cents a month, $12 a year. You can use awesome custom-made emojis in chat and comments. You also get an awesome custom-made badge next to your name in all of your comments and chats. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started right in Argus, the Shadow Files. The video, same video that we saw before.
Shit. I have a huge problem. I might be dead in the next couple of days. You're the only one that can help me. I need you, okay?
See, Shadow's asking for my help, but does Shadow know that I'm Argus? Let's not hope that, has any kind of effect on the story. Sorry to spring this on you. I need your help, TT. I've made myself a target. Again. So now, Shadow, what happened? Do you have a new profile? Oh, is there a new profile? Wait a second. How do I not have the pictures? I had the pictures before. But this is Nina, aka Shadow. And their Instagram. All right. Yeah, anyways. So, profile. What do you think, Shadow? Does it have something to do with Argus? I'll do everything I can to help you. Do you think it has something to do with Argus, Shadow? It couldn't, right? It couldn't be. I mean, call me Nina if you like. Sorry. Nina, sorry. Do you think it has something to do with the Argus, Nina? We're now a team, and don't worry, it's not about Argus. Oh, nuts. Still might be. Argus is still alive in my playthrough. But it's serious, TT. There's a new killer. Who could the new killer be? A damn horror figure they call the Void. Who's the Void? Sounds pretty scary. Please not again. Tell me about the Void. Wait, I'll quickly create a new group with Tim. We need his support. Okay. Void Hunter. This is the Void Hunter group. Interesting. Tim's been added, so now Tim's part of the group. Is this Tim's new profile too? Tim's got a new damn profile too. TT, Nina, another group. That can't mean anything good. This time This time Nina needs our help, not the other way around. Here we go again. Nina, please tell us exactly what. Yeah, this time Nina needs our help. We normally ask Nina and Wolf to help us, but now they need our help. Tim says, I'm all ears. It's best to start from the beginning. In the end, you'll understand how I'm involved. During my research on Ace, I visited various chat rooms. That's how I came across another series of murderers. It reminded me of the Argus murders. Both cases were fanatically discussed in chat rooms. At the time, I couldn't rule out a connection between the two cases. With my current knowledge, I realize, of course, that I was wrong. But every lead, no matter how small, was worth following. Look, this is how I came across the new murder series. So we got Charlie's Angels. Guys, Argus is out there killing again. Did you hear about that? Chester the Jester says, Argus? That's so lame. I'd rather watch paint dry. Rude. Do you know which case is awesome? The Void. And then Trafalgar Law? Trafalgar Law? I don't Trafalgar Law. Says that's right, the Void is the shit. The children's drawings the killer leaves at the crime scenes are next level creepy. I don't know. Void sounds kind of weak, in my opinion, compared to Argus, just saying. A killer who hands out children's drawings. Doesn't sound that scary to me. Oh, Nina's calling.
Not that scary? Imagine you find a children's drawing outside your house. It shows you in a seemingly everyday situation, in front of the TV, in bed, but there's something else in the drawing. A figure, a monster lurking in the closet or under the bed. It's watching you in the dark. The next evening, you are home alone. It's already pitch dark, and you hear weird noises. You see shadows, and suddenly it's standing in front of you, the monster from the drawing. The next morning, your badly mangled corpse is found in the same position as was shown in the drawing. Wait a second, I'll send you some photos.
Yeah, I'm going to need to see this picture. Okay, take it back. Sounds pretty creepy. Yeah, I'm going to need to see these pictures. Ever thought about switching to horror podcasts? It's making my blood run cold. I don't know if I want to see the drawings. Ever think about doing horror podcasts? It might be fun, actually. What would Wolf say? I'd rather stick to my bits and bytes. Seriously, this is real and pretty scary. There have been 3 victims so far. All of them received one of these drawings before they died. Victim number 1. Yeah, just sitting on the couch, but then in like the hallway is like the Void. Interesting. One day after he found the drawing in front of his house, he was found with his throat slit in his living room. Damn, Nina, it's really bad. 2 more drawings, 2 more deaths. Oh, that's like is that a little child in there with the Voids in the closet? And then the little girl out in the grass, out in the forest or something with the Void creeping up on him. Why do the drawings show everyday situations? The figure in the background is the killer wearing a mask like that. Why children's drawings? Yeah, why? All good questions. Well, the everyday situation, obviously it's showing everyday situations, but the figure in the background is the killer wearing a mask like that, or is it just? Now I need to know about the mask. Like, are they wearing a mask? That's right. Okay. There are eyewitnesses who observed the figure. The police assumed that the murderer had been watching his victims for days beforehand, always hiding behind this creepy mask. But that's not all. There's another drawing on the back of each picture. It's always the same. Take a look. The void. It's just that. The word void stands for emptiness, a nothingness that devours everything. Is that the mask of the void in the middle? Well, yeah, obviously we can see that. So that's how the killer got his name. The drawing reminds me of a black hole. That's true. But let's ask about the mask again. But yeah, that's definitely the mask in the middle of the void. It is so scary. I have no idea what that means. The police are also still in the dark. The police are also still in the void. That's silly. That was a terrible joke. I know it's quite a lot at once. But I have one more important piece of information. There's a connection between the victims. 1 year ago, a fire broke out in a school nearby. One teacher and several students were killed. I remember the news was full of it. What a tragedy. Yes, absolutely terrible. And here's the thing. The victims of the void all have a connection to this school. The janitor, the principal, and a former student. The police have the following theory. The void targets people he believes set the fire, or whom he holds partly responsible for the tragedy. So, if that's the case, then we have a person who's pretending to be the void, punishing people or exacting justice to the people that they seem to think have maybe caused the fire and caused that tragedy. It's just a whole nother Scooby-Doo thing, you know? It's a whole nother Scooby-Doo theory. Somebody wearing a mask. And then you rip off the mask and you go, it's Mr. Jenkins. And then you catch him. And because of the dastardly kids and their dog, you know? What do you mean by responsible? So anyone with any connection to the school is in danger. So the murderer himself also has a connection to the school. Probably had a loved one that fell victim to the fire, maybe. That's what I'm guessing. But what do you mean by responsible? Like, why would a child be responsible to fire? Why would the principal, a janitor, and the child be responsible for the fire? The principal could have done more for fire safety, for example, but as I said, it's all just speculation so far. Nevertheless, the police already have 3 suspects, 3 men who could be behind the void. And these are the 3. From left to right, you have Arnold, Bill, and Jasper. The investigation into the series of murders by the killer of the void is targeting 3 suspects, Arnold, Bill, and Jasper. The surnames of the men are still being withheld for tactical reasons. But let's release the pictures, for non-tactical reasons. Despite intensive questioning, no incriminating evidence has yet been found. However, the 3 remain suspects, and the police are continuing their investigation. Apparently, the 3 were released immediately. They don't seem to care much about data protection, so it must be one of the 3. It doesn't necessarily have to be one of the 3. It's just the 3 people that they suspect. But they don't really care about data protection except withholding their last names, but they release the first name and the picture, so it's kind of like anybody could figure out their last name with that. They're doing everything they can to increase sales. I was also surprised that they published the names and photos of the suspects. As you know, I am magically attracted to such cases. I just couldn't resist digging deeper. So I hacked the computers of Arnold, Jasper, and Bill. Did you find any important clues? That's pretty illegal, Nina. We don't care about that. Every criminal should be wary of you. Did you find any important clues, Nina? What'd you find out about a good old Arnold, Bill, and Jasper? No, instead I made a big mess of things. Oh. You know me. I'm usually very careful not to leave any traces behind. This time, I was a bit distracted, though, maybe because of all of the stress with Argus. My precautions were not at the usual level. I didn't have my firewalls up. And my encryption was easier than usual. One of them, Arnold, Bill, or Jasper, must have noticed my access, because shortly after, someone tried to break into my system. Do you know which one of them it was? So the killer knows who you are. What makes you so sure that it was one of the three? And how could you be so careless? Yeah, Shadow, aka Nina, is good with hacking and computers, but definitely has more. She's still not at the level of Wolf. It seems like Wolf very rarely ever made mistakes like that. Shadow makes some mistakes. She's just not quite at the level that Wolf is. She's still the apprentice. She's still learning. But do we know who it was? I mean, that would be a pretty big giveaway if we knew who it was. So I doubt Nina knows who was also hacking into her system, breaking in. Let's ask anyways. No, the attack was carried out via several VPNs and an encrypted line, but it must have been one of them. Anything else would be too much of a coincidence. There's also something else. That's why I urgently need your help. It was on my doorstep earlier. Oh, damn Shadow. Damn Shadow getting voided. The damn void is coming after Shadow. Gonna get you in a day. That's not good, Shadow. I'm next on the killer's list. And I still have exactly 24 hours. But see, that's the thing. Like, if the void is trying to only exact revenge for the people... The Shadow Files. Then Jasper, Arnold, Bill will kill me in 24 hours. But so this is the thing. If the void is only trying to attack the people that it feels responsible for the fire in the school, then it would have no reason attacking Shadow if its main mission is to attack those responsible for the fire of the school. Like a demon, ghost, or entity of some sort would primarily focus on that. But if it's a person pretending to be the void, then yeah, they're going to attack somebody who they feel threatened by. In this case, Nina. So, yeah, so the void is after you because you're on its trail. But cheer up, Nina. Together we'll find out who's behind it. Nothing will happen to you. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you are by my side. You've saved my life many times. It's time I returned the favor. Yes, we won't let anything happen to you. That's damn little time. That's damn little time to catch a murderer. First of all, you urgently need to get out of your apartment. Do they know where you live? Maybe. We're just not gonna let anything happen to you, Nina. You're gonna be perfectly okay. Thank you both. You're welcome. Let me briefly summarize for your understanding. So there was this fire at the school a year ago, and now a killer called the Void is killing people who all have a connection to this school, except for Nina, who is just trying to figure out who the Void is. Right, the police assume that the Void is targeting people he blames for the fire. Okay, and they also already have 3 suspects in the Void murders, Arnold, Bill, and Jasper. What is there to know about them? I'll start a quick call. It's faster. All right, yeah, we'll definitely hear that call. But again, like, if it's an entity of some sort, that's coming back from, or that's working from the other side, so to speak, and is getting revenge for the fire, then they would have no reason to go after Shadow. But because it's got to be a person, and because that person feels threatened by Shadow, well, now Shadow's a target, even though it has nothing to do with the fires or the school, even though Nina had nothing to do with it. But yes, with pleasure, premium chat option.
Well, the first one, Arnold, had a son that went to that school. He died in the fire. He was just in the 5th grade. Jasper, the second, worked at the school as a counselor. He barely survived the fire himself, but 3 of his students were killed. He's had panic attacks ever since and is no longer able to work. The third one is Bill, and he was married to a teacher who died in the fire.
Interesting. How tragic. They would have therefore all have a motive. First, they lose people in the fire, and now they are also accused. But yeah, they would definitely all have a motive, for sure. But that also applies to other relatives who lost someone in the fire. Why did the police target Arnold, Jasper, and Bill directly? They had sworn revenge independently of each other. They said they would find those responsible for the fire and punish them. And all 3 probably have no alibis for the Void murders. Of course, the police still have other suspects. But we can be sure that it is one of them. Can we be sure that it's definitely one of them? Tongue-tied, you have a very good knowledge of human nature. The best knowledge of human nature. It's best to write Arnold, Bill, and Jasper. They will give you an impression of them. Just a random person named Tongue-tied reaching out to you saying, "Hey, want to be friends? Tell me about yourself. Any Void murders in your recent history? No? All right." Yes, and I'm sure one of them will confess everything directly. I'm happy to try it so that the killer is also after me. And I ain't worried about no Void. I'll try it. I'm happy to try it. I don't think Tim's suggestion is bad at all. Should I mark today's date in red in my calendar? Why is that? Well, I don't get this much praise from you every day. You're nuts. But seriously, the fire at the school was a terrible tragedy for Arnold, Jasper, and Bill. A year later, they are defamed in the press as potential killers. If you pretend to be a journalist who wants to stand up for them, who might write an article about how the 3 were treated by the police, then they will definitely open up to you, TT. It's actually not a bad plan. You may notice discrepancies. Pay attention to your gut feeling to see if anything seems strange, or if one of them seems sus. Who's honest? Who do you trust? And who of them is playing a false game? I don't think it will lead to anything. I'm convinced I can manage that. Should we really waste the little time we have on it? Like, I'm convinced I can figure this out. I just need to talk to three of them, to the three of them, and I'll know. I'll know exactly who it is, who the void is. Which one of them is pretending to be the void. Thank you, TNT. Meanwhile, Tim and I will plan the next steps. Hold on. I'll set up a chat group with you, Arnold, Bill, and Jasper. It's certainly easier for them to open up in a group. Attention, I'll switch to your cell phone for a moment and set everything up. Then Tim and I can also read what's happening in the group. Open group chat. Justice! There it is. Group chat justice. Bill's online. Jasper's online. And last but not least, no? Just Bill and Jasper, no Arnold? What kind of group is this? There's Arnold. What the hell? Let's see. Do they have any profiles? Let's see what their profiles are looking like. Here's Bill. Enjoying the Christmas. Does Bill look sus? Is Bill sus? I don't know. Here's Jasper. Looks like a guitarist. Probably in a band, maybe. And Arnold. With your puppy. Oh, it's definitely not Arnold. Not with a puppy like that. No, it can't be Arnold. There's no way. No, with the cute little puppy. Anyways, so what kind of group is this? What the hell? Bill? Jasper? Last time we saw each other was at the police station when we were suspected of being serial killers. Is this a group to accuse us of more crimes? What did we do this time? Did we rob a bank or get a parking ticket? Wait, now I know. We're to blame for the power cut yesterday. Maybe we also put all the cats in the city on trees for fun. Calm down, Arnold. The group name Justice means justice. We should let the admin explain. Tongue-tied? Yeah, so Arnold, Bill, Jasper. I'm a journalist, but not the journalist that you guys have been dealing with. I'm a different type of journalist. I'm the journalist that thinks that you guys are innocent, and I'm here to try to prove that. But secretly, I'm here to try to figure out which one of you is void. But that's what we're starting with. I want to hear your side of the story. I was not okay with your for your names and photos being printed. I believe you that you are not behind the void. Yeah, look, I believe you guys. I believe you're not behind the void, and it's all just a theory that the press is blowing up. You know, people are accusing you guys. It's not even you guys. I know it's not. And I would like to write an article about this and clear your names. And we're supposed to be grateful for that? Why not, Jasper? How are you not supposed to be grateful for that? Have you ever heard people screaming as they burn alive? I can't get the agonizing screams of my students out of my head. But that's not all. Thanks to the press, I'm now considered a potential serial killer. Welcome to the club. Guys, I know we hardly know each other. Only from the fire investigation in the police station last week. But we share the same fate. I can't imagine that any of you committed the Void murders. So, why shouldn't we talk to Tongue-Tied? It would be good if you wrote an article from our point of view. My life was destroyed by the death of my wife, but that doesn't make me a murderer. Why exactly do police suspect the three of you? Where were you all during the Void murders? Do you know the previous victims of the Void killer? Yeah, do you know where? Why do they even suspect you? It seems silly that they would suspect you. Why would they? After the death of my wife, I was devastated. I wanted to blame everything and everyone. I threatened the people responsible for the fire. The detectives took this as an opportunity to interrogate me. The same happened in my case. Nowadays, that's enough to be paraded like a criminal. And then Arnold's calling us. Oh,
Sorry, guys. I can't do this right now. I hoped I would never have to see your faces again.
I feel the same way. Every time I see you, I think of the pain and the fire. And now we're also being accused of being murderers.
Yes, calm down. We now have a unique opportunity with this journalist to set everything straight.
How can you be so naive? Journalists are all the same. Besides, I know I'm not the murderer. But who tells me that you aren't?
I'm done with this nonsense. Luckily, I live right next to a bar. Only a whiskey can help against your chatter.
Hey, guys, good, come on.
I'm out too.
interesting. Jasper and Arnold are now offline. Well, that didn't go too well. The fact that Bill, so I think the important thing is to try to figure out who's standing out from the three. Which one of them is not like the others? And right now, Jasper and Arnold are behaving similarly. They're both upset about everything. They don't really even want to be a part of it, and now they just left they went offline, and now they're not talking to us. But Bill is like, come on, guys, let's give him a chance. Like, Bill wants his name cleared. Why is Bill so interested about getting his name cleared? When Arnold and Jasper are like, look, I don't need to talk to this guy. I know I'm not the killer. Like, I know I'm not the Void. Like, why do I need to talk to this guy? But Bill's like, come on, guys. Like, what's the harm? Like maybe Bill sees this as an out to clear his name because because Bill's the Void. I don't know. But it's important to try to figure out which one of them is not like the others. And I think that's how you figure out who the Void is. Maybe I'm wrong, but how often is that, the case? How often am I wrong about anything? I'm probably like the greatest detective in the world, and I probably already got it right. But Bill says, well, that didn't go too well. Tongue-tied, I think your idea with the article was very thoughtful, but Arnold and Jasper should be on board for the interview. Let's wait and see. Maybe they'll change their minds after all. Let's hope so. Thank you for your trust, Bill. You can't force anyone to be happy. Look, thank you for your trust, Bill. Now we got Tim. Back in the Void Hunters. Like Bill said, that didn't go too well. At least we now have a first impression of them. All three seemed genuinely shaken by the accusations. If I didn't know better, I'd swear they were innocent. And you, Tongue-tied, do you have a funny feeling about any of them? Yeah, Bill, I think. It's still too early for that. Most likely with Bill. I'm going to say Bill, because Bill's not like the rest. Bill was standing out from the other two. Bill wasn't like the other ones. One of these is not like the others, and it was Bill. Why exactly Bill? Just a gut feeling. He seems too nice. I found Bill more suspicious than the other two. None of these three, honestly. The real reason is because Bill did not behave like the other two. Bill set himself apart from the other two. Why is that? There's a reason for it. Bill's just not like the others. So I guess I'll just go with gut feeling. It's a bit weak. Thanks, Tim. We should still keep it in mind. But now we have to plan the next... Oh, now we got the Void calling us. To hell.
The void is infinite, and you won't escape it either. Your little hacker friend got lost in the void, and she will slowly die there. You will follow her. The void will devour us all, including you.
Nah, you don't say that. Ah, yes. Now we have to plan the next steps. And we have Void that's reaching out to us. And we're going to talk to Void in the next video. Void's probably going to send me a picture of myself. And then, I don't know, me sitting on the couch or something like that with the Void standing behind me. I'm probably going to receive a picture. I don't know. We'll talk to V here. We'll talk to Void in the next video. I hope you guys are enjoying this new episode of Argus, The Shadow Files. Again, if you'd like to help support me a little bit, but also gain some awesome, really cool benefits, you can join as a member for 99 cents a month. 99 cents, less than $1 a month. $12 a year. You can join as a member. You get custom-made badges next to your name in chat and comments. You'll also get custom-made emotes that you can use in chat and comments as well. So think about it. And if you do, it's always appreciated, but never expected. If you're enjoying Argus, The Shadow Files, be sure to hit that like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and join the Tethered. As always, thanks for watching. Love you all. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.